Okay. We've got to try to get us a few Egyptian walking onions in the ground. Let's see if we can't get that done today. I'm going to move this over just like I've been doing the rest of them, and this will be our 7th row. Let me get my tools here right quick. We'll move this over. That would be 1 1/2. And that'll put that right there. 1 1/2. Yes, sir. Now, let's go out here and move this one over. We sure don't want to move our watering system because it's right where everything needs to be. Let me see if I can't lengthen this just a little bit. If I went down like that, it ought to pull out. Yeah. Okay. I'll go down here and rake this back this way. That way I won't be over here walking on my plants that I've got already planted. Whoo-wee. She's another 95-degree day. I'm trying to stay as close onto these chips as I can. Because I've been watering them. I'll try to take this big stuff off to the side here. You can see as I rake it how that turns black, because I've been putting the water to it. It ain't rained one drop since I brung these chips up. You start out and you think, well, I've got short rows. This is about halfway. Of course, we're not going all the way now, are we? We're not going all the way. That right there be it. That about be it today. Let me get over here and I can walk on this. This don't get over there. I've got a pretty good little walkway through here. I keep a looking, hoping to see sprouts already. This planted this yesterday. And it don't take long. This heat, stuff starts sprouting. Now, I'll go back up through here and lay me off a little a little ditch here. Now this one will be a little bit deeper than normal, because we're planting bulbs here. We're planting bulbs. I'm gonna get them bulbs down in the ground a little. Whew. Too hot again. This weather is fixing to break. It's fixing to break. But it'll be a few more days before it does. We've got a few more days in the 90s, and then I think that it's gonna chill off. Actually, I think it's supposed to get down to 70s. What's that? What's that, boy? Now, this, old rotten tomatoes stink. They're stinking. This is gonna be our onions. Our onions. Onions. Whoo-wee. Now I got out here today, turn the water on just a little bit, because I want the top of them ground and this evening, about dark. Oh, for 15, 20 minutes is all it needs now. I'll come out here and I'll turn that sprinkler back on, and that'll hold that moisture all through the night. And then, of course, these bright days, it don't take long to suck the top of this dry. And I've got some little seeds, remember, that's almost at the tip top of this right here. Once those sprout, sends that root down, it don't have to go down a quarter inch. If it goes down a quarter inch, you're in pretty good shape. And then, once this sprouts, when you water then, it needs to be after the sun goes down. And then you can come out here and water it. And but if you water that with those little bitty sprouts, them little seedlings coming up, they start putting them little tender leaves on. You water that on a day like today, and you'll destroy them. It'll burn them up. It literally will. Now I've watered stuff, but it's been mature on a sunny day. Like right now, it's too hot to be watering something if it's just sprouting. Anyway, I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna drop me some of these Egyptian walking onions and get our onions going again. I'm missing some onions. I'm gonna try to spread these out more than usual. More than usual. I'll drop them first, and then we'll worry about, I'm gonna say 1.5 foot, 2 feet is all I'll need. It's way more than actually I'll need. That one's a little soft. So what I'll do is throw a little in right beside it. If you get a hold of one that's a little, if it's iffy, go ahead and throw another right beside it. These are multiplying onions anyway. They're gonna multiply anyway now, ain't they? Well, if you wanted to, you could plant 2 in each hill. And there's one that's a little soft, so I'll put 2 there. There's another. I'm not even gonna plant that, and that one went bad. That one's went bad. You'll have some go bad. What do you expect out here in this broiling weather? This broiling heat. Anything could go bad, wouldn't it? You just have to remember when you plant like I've planted here, because these are close rows. They're close rows, close together. And if you ain't careful, you get to not paying no attention to what you're doing, and you'll be over there walking in your other row. And a man shouldn't never walk in his other row. Now when I get out here, I'll start dropping these, because these bulbs, I'm getting the biggest ones as I go. And we get out here, I'll start throwing two in there. Two smaller ones. And I'll keep them side by side in a group. In the group, man, in the group. And then what I've got left in this bag, I'll drop them out through here with some of these other. Like right there is one. Actually, it's two. Right here's, there's one. There's one. There's two in that, and two in that, and two in that. Put that there. That's no good. Good. And all it'll do is when they start sprouting, coming up, it'll send more onions out. Is what it'll do. Now, at least every one of these through here, we'll put another in there and there, and we'll move them right there. And then we'll put this one right there. And that leaves us none, hardly, a handful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out through here, and I'm going to put them somewhere. I'll put one there, one there, one there, and there, and one there. And that got all of them. That took care of all of them. Now, I could, like I've always said, I could go through there and put them, just cover them up where they are, if I wanted to. If I wanted to. Just cover them up. And they'll straighten up, but I'd rather kind of have them standing up. I put them not touching, but fairly close. Don't want to let them touch, but make a little pocket there, put them in there. Just stand them up a little. I like them standing up. Keeps your plant straight here, and they probably straighten up themselves, to tell you the truth. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, just to show us. I'm going to go halfway. I'll go to the other side of this sprinkler. And then what I'll do, I'll leave the ones that I've got thrown out through there. I'll straighten half of them up here. And them out through there. Oh, about right in here. And the rest of them out through there, we'll leave them right as they hit the ground. That's how you experiment. From about halfway here, I'm going to stop right here in front of me. And like this. Now the rest of them, I'm not going to straighten up. I just throwed them down. I'm going to cover them up. Does that sound stupid? It may be. But we'll know whether me bending over here is of any benefit or not. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Just like I said here, if you didn't hear me, I went halfway out this row with the Egyptian walking onions. I selected them, and there's actually at least 2 heads to each place out there. I started out with the biggest ones. Then when I got out and they got to where I thought, well, 2 of these equal the big one, so I started putting 2 in. And then I had some left, so I come back and I divided them up out through there best I could to be all equal, fairly equal. Halfway out this row, remember this, halfway out the row, I straightened these up, put the roots down, stood them up. The other half, I'm covering them up as they hit the ground. So keep that in mind, and we'll see if it's worth walking through there. I really don't think it is. I don't think it's worth it, but I've always done that. But it ain't good for you. When you get older, it's not good for you. Let's put it that way. It ain't good for nobody, to tell you the truth, standing on their head out here at 95 degrees. So anyway, I'm going to cover them up in a minute. Just remember, we want to see the difference. I'm going to say next year, when I take these up, more than likely, that's when the story will be told, if it makes any difference or not. I don't think it'll make a bit of difference, but we'll see. Okay, let's cover them up there. Let's cover these onions up. I want to cover them up, just like that. I want to cover them up. Don't want to bury them crazy deep. Just want to cover them onions up. Yes, sir. Just like that. Some of them have the greens probably still sticking out. Yes, sir. Just like that. Cover them up. I don't want to move my sprinkler or bump it. I've got it set to where all I have to do is plug it in. Covers the same amount. Now here we're starting in on the ones that just throw down. They'll come up as they've been laid down. That's how they're going to stay. I'm not standing them up. So we'll get to see if it makes any difference. Tell you one thing, it's a lot easier on a man and a woman. And that, and I'm gonna have to kick around because it's the root sticking straight up. I'm just gonna lightly touch this. Lightly tap it. Lightly, not hard. We'll get to see how long it takes these Egyptian walking onions to come up. It won't take long, I can tell you. There's one already up, so here's another one already up. Of course, that's where it sprouted. All right. But now, I watered again last night, and you seen when I started this, I had 1.5 inch. Now, there's 2 3/4 inches on the gauge here. 2 3/4 inches. 2 3/4 inches since the chips were dry and since I started putting moisture to it. These little onion sacks are pretty good. They're pretty good. I fold them up, put them right back in there with the others. These will last a long time if you keep them out of the sun, I guess. Well, so this garden, this wood chip garden, now we've got to wait. So I've got a few videos backed up, not many, a few, and of this Back to Eden evolution. The Back to Eden evolution, I think, is our playlist on this. But I've got a few. Now, this, like I say, this little garden through here, it's 7 rows wide. We've got 7 rows in it through here. And it's a little over halfway, well actually it's about halfway out to the far end. Because the sprinkler wouldn't reach out through there, and this fall I don't need that much, and that's why I've not planted it. Now I told you the other day that I'd plant this stuff and have it where you could see side by side. Not right now. I mean, that will be in the spring time when I've got that corn down, and I'll have an area. It won't be as big as this, but we'll devote a area through there that whatever we plant here, we'll plant over there. We'll plant here and we'll plant over there. I don't know how it's going to come out, don't know, but we're not going to be comparing anything this fall. Just planting a fall garden here to show you that put the wood chips down, get to planting. It can be done. Now, we'll see. I think it'll be interesting where you can see side by side. And you also got to keep in mind, that garden where that corn's at over there, that ain't no slouch. That's some good dirt. That's tons and tons and tons of wood chips since back in about 2011, 2012, when that wood chips went down over there. And there's been a lot of wood chips put on here. We're talking dump truck after dump truck. Of course, it's a big area, plumb around through here, and then over there too. I knowed when I was doing it, I thought, now you're making this too big. But I had plenty of wood chips, and you know, this, like I say, they're going to decompose anyway. Whether they're in a pile, spread them out on your garden. Let them decay on your garden. Whether you're going to plant a garden or not, if you anticipate planting a garden, go ahead and start gardening the soil. Build the soil. And then when you get back, B, when you get ready to, or you was to need to, well, them old wasp and old red wasp and stuff, is this where this water sprayed out here? They're dry. They're needing something to drink. But anyway, build the soil, and if you ever need to, want to, whatever, then you will have a good jump on things, a good base to grow stuff in. A lot of people bags their leaves, and I understand there's places that they don't want a garden, let's put it that way. I won't say that you can't have one, because you can have a garden if it ain't 2 foot wide and 10 or 20 foot long. So if that's all you can have, instead of taking your organic matter and putting it in bags and hiring the city sanitation people to pack it off or burn it, spread it out. Spread it out. It's organic matter. Little limbs, anything. It'll all decay. Go back and put her out there. That's all I'm going to say about that. You do what you want to do. If you don't want to, don't even listen to me. All I know, let's do one thing here before we go in. I want to go check this corn. I'm just itching to check this corn. And I know that corn can't be ready. Let me turn the camera around where you can see what I'm doing. I'll be walking in mud here now. I'm just wondering. I don't think that could possibly be ready. I don't think it could possibly be ready. But I can possibly check one and see, can't I? Like that one. Let's just take that one. You can see I got a near of corn. A near. A nut. Let's see. Yeah, I got an ear of corn. This is the last patch. This is out of the last corn patch. Well, 1, 2, this is the 4th corn patch. Disaster, got a little corn, a disaster. Over here, another disaster. Over there, a disaster. And this corn here, every bit laid flat to the ground. Of course, it wasn't but about 2.5, 3 foot tall. Well, it straightened up. You can't even tell hardly it ever blowed over. And it done it on its own. That in itself, to me, is a miracle. Let's see what we got here. We've got maybe something pollinated and maybe something got worms in it though. Got a worm right there in the end. I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Don't jump off and run off. I want you to show people. I want people to see you. You see that worm right here? See him right there? He's little fella. But now what he'll do, he'll have the whole end of this corn eat off. I guess you can see him there. Get too close, you won't be able to. But see that little worm right there? Look here. Right there. Right there. He's right there on that. Hang on, booger. He's right there, wadded up. See him there trying to crawl up that silk? He's a baby. But he'll be grown by the time that corn gets down about right there. You can see where he started right here. There's another one right there in the end. See there? Huh? See that worm? The pest. The pestilence. The pestilence. To me, they're pestilence. But anyway, I'm shocked, literally am shocked, that this corn has, now what I'll do, I'll take it right there and snap that off where them worms is at. No worms now, look good, you don't want to eat a worm. So, no worms, all looks fresh and lush. Now this corn is the incredible corn. And I gathered some today of the scragglers that made it, and they had worms in them too, in the ends. Not all of them, but most of them. Which ain't no big deal, just break it off. Some of them get through it too, you toss the whole thing. And you can either spray or not spray. Now, I should spray that, but I've learned one thing. I like my corn planted early as possible. Get it out of there. Because when you wait till this fall crop, you're going to fight every summer demon that's out there when it comes to bugs. Anyway, let's try this. See what it tastes like. Good and sweet already. Long way from being done. It's not nothing like done. I mean, mature enough. But the thing of it is, most all of these kernels was pollinated. Not got all of its sugars. Nothing like all of its sugars yet. But it was sweet. Sweet, but not enjoyable enough as that we got earlier, which was more ripe, and it wasn't completely. So, what I'm going to think is we're going to have a patch of corn there, and we're going to get the fat worms. That's what I'm thinking. Hopefully, they won't be in every one of them. It's been a bad year for me with corn, I'll tell you. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do today. I'm just going to get out of the heat. we'll see you when we see some sprouts on this garden again. We'll shoot another. All right, that's it.